This is the first off season where your contract is a topic of conversation. How important is it for you to get a deal done before the start of next season, and where are things standing with that?
Yeah, these things will take care of themselves. I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, and so I don't really get into contracts with anybody. I'm not going to get into it on this one, and so it'll happen. It'll take care of itself.
Nick, we've seen you guys, especially last year, use a lot of young players in predominant roles. Has anything shifted for you philosophically when it comes to that?
No, I mean, it's about finding out what players do well, and that's something you need to be around them to do. Like you're able to see what they do well on tape, but there's another extension of that of when you get around them, you get a greater understanding. And so it's finding out what these guys do well and being able to put them in positions to succeed and do different things to help them develop and practice. With some of the new faces that will be starting on our team next year, I'm excited about that. These guys, when you're in a program that has been successful, what you notice about the guys that have been waiting for their opportunity to play, or new faces that are coming in, getting an opportunity to play on the Philadelphia Eagles, there's just this hunger. And so I'm excited about the new faces that are going to be able to contribute and get their opportunity to do some things with the loss of some of these guys. So it's really a great challenge and a great opportunity for a lot of these guys to go out there, and I know I'll see hunger and desire and just this, hey, now it's my turn to go out there and perform.
First time talking since your additions to your coaching staff, just with Scott at quarterback particularly, what was about that hire, and just thoughts on him?
Yeah, just you do a lot of work. You interview a lot of different guys. You cast a very wide net in the attempts to find the right person. And there was a lot of good candidates that we interviewed. Scott stood out. Probably called a ton of guys. We called a ton of guys to. Not only the interview process, but then the vetting process at the end to call the guys to see what he's like, and it just kept coming back. This guy's obsessed with football, loves football. It's just a grinder and just very knowledgeable on the quarterback play. And we're able to get some new, fresh ideas from him and the things that he's done as the head coach at Bowling Green and in prior times before that. And so really excited about the addition of Scott.
What are the fresh ideas that he brings as a quarterback?
We'll see. Okay. Yeah, you'll see. Like, not going to get specific into that. I mean, fresh ideas, like, obviously we hired him to be the quarterback coach and to continue to develop, help Jalen Hurts continue to rise. And he's an expert at quarterback play. I mean, again, like I said, he's just obsessed with football. But the new ideas, what I was speaking of with new ideas, are some of the things that they ran offensively that just give us fresh thoughts into our offense.
Can I just follow up real quick with coaches for a pro tush-push vote?
I'm sorry?
Have you been lobbying other coaches for a pro tush-push vote? Where do you think things stand right now?
Yeah, we'll see. I think today will tell a lot. I think you guys know my opinion on it. I'm not going to continue to dive into my opinion is very well documented, and I won't continue to dive into that. I think we would talk. I think maybe that's why there's so many cameras here today to talk about that. But I still stand where I stood, and when we talked at the combine, and we'll see how it goes down. Have I been lobbying? I've talked to a couple people, yeah, but we'll see how it goes today.
Did you ever expect when you came up with that concept that it was going to be something so controversial?
No, I don't think so. I was just trying to win football games and trying to get first downs. It was a cool evolution of the play. As I think back, we had a lot of success with it in Indy with Jacoby Brissett, particularly. He would come in for Andrew Luck to do some of those with Andrew coming off of an injury. And then, he would do this. He did it when he started in 2019, and then in 2020 when we had Phillip Rivers, he was a specialist in that as well. and he went in for Phillip like he did Andrew. And then, in 2021, it wasn't, we didn't run a lot. I think we were 13 of 14 for it. But one of those in that time, we motioned Dallas Goedert into the backfield and gave him a little extra help. And now we had seen that on tape from somewhere, and that led us into 2022, where we ended we played Detroit. That's all right. We played Detroit, and we ended the game with a quarterback sneak. Wasn't anybody pushing, but we ended the game on a 4th and 1. I think we were up 38-35 with a quarterback sneak to be able to kneel it out. And then kind of from there, it was like, that was a pretty important quarterback sneak that happened. Let's make sure we get him, and so that kind of evolved from there. We, did different formations, different pushers, and then we turned it into 2 pushers, and it was a cool evolution. And then what happened was, all the compliments that come off of it, and all the cool things that you can do off it. It's a very our job as coaches is to be able to mesh things that look alike, together to create explosive plays. You try to do that with your run game to your play action. You try to do that with your quarterback sneak play to your gadgety type plays. And I think it's an exciting play. It was really cool to hear some people talk about it this week and what they think of it, like of the excitement that it brings to the game.
You've made the point that there's no injury data associated with it. There haven't been injuries.
I didn't make that point. They did.
Right.
Yeah.
But then sort of the counterpoint that the others have made seems to be there's injury concerns about it because of the nature of it and the forces. I mean, do you think that those concerns are valid at all? Do you have any of those?
Again, I know what the data says, and I know how we coach it, and we don't coach a push play any different than we coach a quarterback sneak play. So, that if it's again, the injury data says what it says, and we coach it the exact same whether somebody's pushing or whether somebody's not pushing. And I know that play's been. I think somebody said something about Bart Starr running the play a long time ago, so that play's been in for a very long time. There's probably a lot of injury. There's probably enough data on that play to get information from.
Nick, one of the things Sean McDermott said was that force from pushing adds a whole lot of injury risk to the play. I mean, have you seen that?
Again, I think we were healthy on the play. I believe the whole entire NFL was healthy on the play. So I always want to have players' health first and foremost in our mind. And so, you have to trust the doctors and stuff like that on those scenarios, but you always want to do what's best for the players first and foremost.
Nick, you were talking about the hunger of young guys. You hear sometimes after winning a Super Bowl that hunger might not be the same, the disease of more, stuff like that. How much thought have you given to asking for sacrifice from guys and changing your messaging after having been to the mountaintop?
It's actually, in my experience, going back to Mount Union, hunger was the winning, and winning it all produced more. Like, you just got the taste of what winning was, and it produced more. Now I know it's a different time, early 2000s, and different level of play with professional football as opposed to college football, but those guys, again, those young guys that didn't. Everybody contributed to that win, but some guys, had more playing time, had more role, had a bigger role or whatnot, and so those guys that didn't get to play, I know that as much, that getting there and being like, man, I need to be out there. That does something to these guys, and so I've experienced the opposite with that, with just the hunger to continue to excel. In there, and we'll get to a point. We're to a point now where the celebration is over, right? The celebration of the Super Bowl is over, and I know that there'll be people. I know BG and Saquon throughout the first pitch, and then we'll have our ring ceremony and all that. But our preparation is here. Celebration is over. Preparation is here, and there's nothing like getting back in there and starting to work again. And because if you with our team and the leaders that we have on this football team, if you're not busting your butt and giving everything you got, you'll be exposed. And that's why I'm so we value these guys so much. Try not to work hard in front of Saquon Barkley or Jalen Hurts, and they'll be on you.
What's that going to look like this offseason, though? Because you had a longer offseason program last year, more OTAs, mandatory minicamp. Are you going to continue that, or will it go back to what it was 2 years ago?
Well, the way the league year is it was a little bit longer. And so I think our schedule will come out here shortly, but we'll end up doing similar to what we did last year. And again, I always have to be aware of, how far we went into the season, and I can regulate that with practice time, this and that. But we'll see where we are. Things can change based off where we are when the players get in and all those different things, but it'll be pretty similar.
Speaking of leaders on the team, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, someone you've been very complimentary of and what he brings to the team as a leader. The decision to trade him, how hard was that to remove him from the locker room?
Yeah, obviously Chauncey's contributions to this football team were awesome. Right, he brings a lot of energy, makes a lot of plays. I love him. Wish him the best. I've had a good experience with him for 2 years, even though there was time off in between there. And so I think that a lot is said on his energy, and of course he's got great energy every day. He loves football. He loves to play the game on Sunday. He brings great energy. I think with that is we have a lot of defensive guys that play with an edge, that play with great energy. I think Jalen Carter comes to mind. Nolan Smith. I think you guys have heard me talk about him, about how much energy and effort that he plays with. Coop, was young obviously last year, but he plays with a great deal of passion and energy and edge. Quinyon plays with a great deal of edge. Nakobe Dean, I think you can always see him talking to the guys. I just watched that little mini movie that our team put out, and he's always talking to the guys and firing them up, and plays with an edge and plays with nastiness, and so helped us win a game, helped us be in position to win a game against Washington, helped us win a game against the Cowboys, and we felt very comfortable with him as our backup, that if he had to go into the game, which he did, that he'd be able to succeed and put our team in with an opportunity to win, which he did. And so good teammate. Again, you go through a year like we just went through, and I talked earlier about what was the common thread of the messaging at the end of the year from the team, and it's team. And so he's a great teammate, and so a great person, great football player. You're getting a good man.
What position room will Avery Williams be?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We still got some time to figure that out. We'll see how that goes. We got some time to figure it out, but obviously the things that he brings in special teams is huge. Again, I'm excited about all that he can bring with the versatility he has offensively. Offensively, and all the things that he can do. Again, just my interaction with him was top notch, and I'm really excited to start working with him.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.